Russian forces are making repeated attempts to establish a presence on the western bank of Ukraine's Dnipro River, according to Oleksandr Prokudin, the head of Ukraine's Kherson Oblast military administration. Russia captured most of Kherson Oblast, including territory on both sides of the Dnipro River in the early stages of the invasion. However, in November 2022, Ukraine forced Russian troops to withdraw from the western bank, including Kherson City. Despite this retreat, Russian President Vladimir Putin declared the annexation of the entire region along with 3 other Ukrainian oblasts, none of which has been fully controlled by Russia to this day. During a working visit to the UK, Prokudin told The Guardian that Russian troops are conducting high-casualty operations at 4 different locations in an effort to gain territory that would strengthen Moscow's position in future peace negotiations. Every single day they are trying to cross, Prokudin said. We heard from our intelligence that the Russian deputy commander told troops in the area that they had to force the river at any cost, though not all the soldiers are willing to do that. The Russian offensive operations are taking place at 4 locations, across marshy islands at the Dnipro River mouth, at the Antonivka Road and rail bridges east of Kherson City, and near the villages of Lvov and Zmiyivka, with the latter being upstream of the destroyed Nova Kakhovka Dam. According to the local leader, who was directly appointed by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, Russian soldiers have been instructed to capture a village on the western bank to make it part of the negotiation. However, he noted that these attempts have so far been unsuccessful. The operations have resulted in high casualties, with attackers often killed or wounded almost immediately after crossing. The Russians completely understand it is a suicidal mission, Prokudin stated. Prokudin believes Russia is attempting to tick a box to demonstrate presence on the western bank and justify claims to the entire oblast. He noted that these efforts have become more urgent as various peace negotiations have begun, including last month's direct US-Russia negotiations held without Ukraine and the EU. The Kherson governor outlined 3 possible scenarios for the war's conclusion. Pro-Russian leadership in Ukraine, Zelensky is replaced, Ukraine cedes territory, and Russia's borders shift closer to Europe. Negotiated settlement with security guarantees, Ukraine secures European-backed guarantees, though Prokudin doubts Europe's commitment without US support. Frozen conflict at current front lines, the most likely scenario, but Prokudin warns it would give Russia time to regroup and resupply.
President Donald Trump said during his address to Congress Tuesday night that his administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal. "We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back," he said. On Tuesday, a Hong Kong-based conglomerate agreed to sell its controlling stake in a subsidiary that operates ports near the Panama Canal to a consortium including BlackRock Incorporated, effectively putting the ports under American control after Trump alleged Chinese interference with the operations of the critical shipping lane. The deal will give the BlackRock consortium control over 43 ports in 23 countries, including the ports of Balboa and Cristobal, located at either end of the Panama Canal. Other ports are in Mexico, the Netherlands, Egypt, Australia, Pakistan, and elsewhere. The transaction, which must be approved by Panama's government, does not include any interest in a trust that operates ports in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and South China, or any other ports in China. Trump and his supporters have also complained about the fees that ships are charged to use the waterway and alleged that China has been operating the canal, an assertion denied by Panama's government. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio visited Panama in early February and told President José Raúl Mulino that Panama had to reduce Chinese influence over the canal or face potential retaliation from the United States. Mulino rejected the idea that China had any control over canal operations. Panama quit China's Belt and Road Initiative following Rubio's visit, drawing condemnation from Beijing. But while much attention was focused on Trump's threat to retake control of the canal, his administration trained its sights on Hutchison Ports, the Hong Kong-based consortium that manages the port's key ports at either end of the canal. During his speech, Trump also said that the U.S. needs Greenland for national and international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it, he said.
To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it, he got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job.